My name is Dave Russell. I'm an AT&T engineer, and I've been working with the Bell Telephone Laboratories to find better ways to install key systems. Today we're going to talk about centralized key telephone installations. By installations, we mean that we have three main elements: space, equipment, and effort. Space is in the form of conduits and raceway systems and closets, wall space in the closets. Equipment in the form of backboards, connecting blocks, and apparatus mountings. Effort, of course, is your effort to install the key telephone systems themselves. We traveled for several years in your companies and listened to you. We saw many installations. I would like to show you one such installation. This is a closet in one of the companies which did not have enough room to terminate all the station cables on connecting blocks. It's a condition we got to call horsetails. Horsetails are these dangling cable pairs from the station cables. This is a condition created by stripping the sheath from the station cable and allowing the 25 pairs of each cable to dangle together in a mess, such as you see here. An installer or repairman would have to pick his pair out of this bundle if he wishes to terminate any particular pair. It's from installations like this that we learned many things. We learned that no one likes horsetails. Space is a problem. And we saw some devices locally designed, such as standoff brackets and designation strips. We found that everyone wants standardization. However, standardization is just another word for organization. People want an organized approach to their job. Pre-planned closets, we found, were most desirable. Let's sneak a peek at a new approach. This is a cross-connecting arrangement. As you see it here, it would take about half the space of our present methods of terminating wires and cables. The closet you're looking at is 6 foot, 10 foot rather, by 6 foot. It accommodates 100 lines and 160 stations. It consists of modular backboards, each of these being a module, and it has considerable growth potential. It is divided into 4 areas. In this closet, we have a place for everything. It's aimed at your convenience. The modular backboards come in 4 colors: green, blue, red, and yellow. Each color identifies an area: CO and PBX, station, key, and auxiliary services. Let's take a look at a schematic representing these areas. In the lower left, we have here the green area for CO and PBX terminations. To the right of that, in the lower right, is blue for stations. At the upper right is red for key features. And at the upper left, last but not least, is yellow for auxiliary services such as 6A dial intercoms or 1A1 diode matrices. This plan includes 7 new items of hardware: 4 backboards, a new connecting block, a standoff bracket, and a designation strip. Let's take a look at some of the new hardware involved. This is the 66 M150 connecting block. It is a new block, and as you can see, is smaller than the block. Is a 50-pair block, 25 pairs on one side and 25 pairs on the other side. It's what we call a 2x2 block. These 2 lugs are multipled together, and these 2 lugs are multipled together. This particular lug would be for your cable pair, this one for your jumper. Similarly, on this side, this would be for another cable pair, and this one would be for a separate jumper. With this connecting block, we have a new designation strip, which is a snap-on type of designation strip. These strips come assembled to the fanning strips of the blocks, one strip on each side of the block. We also have an 89B bracket. You'll recall that I said we saw attempts to make standoff bracket field. This is the 89B bracket. It provides a place for cabling in the wiring channel behind the connecting block when the connecting block's in place. It has openings in the sides through which you may bring your cables so that you may terminate them in the proper locations on the connecting block. Snaps on in that fashion. Now we've taken the 89B brackets and assembled them into modular backboard forms. Let's take a look at one of the modular backboards. This is the 183A2 backboard. It's 8.5 inches wide and 20 inches long. It's green, and it is for the CO PBX pairs, the outside plant pairs. As you see, it's equipped with 4 89B brackets and will accommodate 200 pairs of riser cable or outside plant cable of other types. And as we said, has the snap-on bracket attached to it so that you can snap on your 66 M1 50 connecting block. Over here we have the full module blue backboard. It is the 183B1 backboard. It's 17 inches wide by 20 inches long. It has 8 89B brackets assembled to it, which will accommodate 8 66 M150 connecting blocks. You can see 2 cables we have placed in the wiring channels that would go behind the block when snapped into place. The cables have been brought out through the side wiring channel, and when we snap a block in place, you see we have our pairs available for terminating down the side of the block on each particular side. The third backboard I'd like to show you is the one for the key features. This is the red board, as I said, for key features. It is a full module board, 17 inches by 20 inches. It comes equipped with 4 66 B425 connecting blocks. That's presently our standard connecting block. And it has distributing rings, wire distributing rings assembled to it. These are mushroom-shaped, as you can see, providing a wiring channel. This represents an equipment cable running between the matched blocks and would be terminated on the cable lugs of the block. The remaining 5 lugs would be used for jumpers. As you notice, this also has the designation strip with it and comes equipped from the factory with the designation strip. We have the open wiring channel for the jumpers running down here and across the bottom. Now let's take a look at the 4th backboard. This is the 185A1 backboard. This particular board is the yellow board for auxiliary services such as terminations for 6A dial intercom or 1A1 diode matrices or whatever is appropriate for the particular installation. As you notice, this comes equipped with the mushroom distributing rings, giving you an open channel for jumpers. Now you will recall that the backboards are used in a definite pattern. The location of the first backboard is critical. Engineering generally will establish this location, and your construction man will usually be the first to be in to locate the backboard, placing it. Let's review the pattern. On the lower left, we have the green backboards for CO and PBX. To the right of these, we have the blue for stations. Above this, the red for key features. And to the left and above, the yellow for auxiliary services. Now let's see how we would build up an apparatus closet. Now what I mean by an apparatus closet is this is a closet by definition in which you would place your apparatus, such as your 182 key equipment. In the apparatus closet, we have in the lower left, construction man would place the green backboard. In this particular case, we have chosen to place 2 green backboards, one above the other. This would accommodate 400 pairs of riser cable. Next, the installer might come into this closet and place the blue modules. He is placing these boards with 4 screws each to mount 8 connecting blocks, which has the capacity for 16 stations on one of these modules. Remember, we would never multiple in this particular field. All cables would be terminated permanently when placed. Next, he would place the red backboards. These are your key feature backboards. This is the location where you would expect to multiple your stations to your lines. As I say, lastly, he would place the yellow for your auxiliary services. In this fashion, he would build up the apparatus closet. The satellite closet, and the satellite closet is one which would slave off of the apparatus closet, but would not contain apparatus, would be built up in this pattern, a blue on the bottom and the red on top. This could be a larger or smaller closet than shown here. The red is merely an extension of the key features, and the blue is the place for terminating the station cables. Now, between the apparatus closet and the satellite closet, we have tie cables. Let's show you how the tie cable would be run. The tie cable would be run from blue to red, blue of the apparatus closet to red of the satellite location. Because, as you recall, in the apparatus closet, the tie cable is an extension of the station, whereas in the satellite closet, the tie cable is the extension of the key features. Let's take a look at how you might run a jumper. Coming into an apparatus closet, we will assume that the station cables have been terminated, that the outside plant cables have been terminated, that the equipment cables have been terminated, and we have nothing but to run jumpers to activate a line. First, you would pick up your central office pair and find your line. Run a pair jumper up through the wiring channel to the red area. Find the tip and ring input to your key system and terminate the jumper. Immediately below this, you would pick up your key feature terminations. There are 8 pairs below this, 3 of which have your line and control leads. You would take the 3-pair F cross-connect wire, run it from the red, down across your channels, down into the blue to the appropriate station termination. We have not as yet run our ring leads. We did not do this because half the time you have common audible system. So we would take a pair jumper picking up the ring leads, take it out through the wiring channel to the yellow, terminate it on something such as the 1A1 diode matrix, bring a pair jumper back and over and down into the station area. This would then have completed an installation in the apparatus closet. If we were to run an installation to the satellite closet, where a station is working from the blue area of the satellite location, we then would run our central office jumper, picking up our key features then, run down to the tie cable location in the blue. Remember, the tie cable is now the extension of the station in this closet. We would then go to the satellite location, pick up our key feature in the red area, and jumper it to the station termination in the blue. To summarize, this particular closet arrangement, we feel, will save considerable space. It saves about half the space that we presently use. It will reduce the amount of effort required for you to plan and install a closet. It presents to you an organized method. There's one thing I'd like to say about standardization. We can tell you a method for standardization, but we cannot standardize for you. Standardization is in your hands. Now, Section 518, 300, 100 explains everything that I have told you today, plus has additional facts. One more word before closing. We're working on improvements to the techniques that you have seen today. Meanwhile, we know that you will find the new arrangement helpful.